Parker's most often played ascending triplet pattern moves from the third, lands on the ninth. The third could be approached by a half step above or a half step below. And you can resolve down. Usually resolves down by step. Like that. And of course you can work this through all 12 keys. Right? It works with major, minor, dominant, all chord qualities. Right, so minor and dominant. Right, and then take it through 12 keys. He sometimes plays ascending triplet arpeggios with the triplet starting on the root, usually again a half step pickup, and the resolution is a step down. Right? And again, that works in all chord qualities. When working descending triplets, arpeggios are most common in Parker's playing. He might start on the 7th, the 9th, or the 3rd. The pickup note to the triplet is the chord tone, so the 7th. In a triplet, and it returns to the starting note. That would be a horizontal contour. Same note. It works to return to a step below the starting note. And with these descending triplets, it is most typical for Parker to skip up at the bottom of the triplet, skipping back out. And it works in varied qualities, so dominant, or minor. Right? Starting on the 9th, then again the 9th is a chord tone, and it's the pickup to the triplet, and returning a step below where you start. Right, and different qualities. Or minor. Another way Parker plays descending arpeggios is to start on the 3rd and move to the 7th and down. So it's the 3rd, this is on minor, 3rd, the flat 7, the 5th, and the flat 3rd again. And then that will land a half step below, or a step below. This works in different chord qualities as well. He plays it more often on minor, but it works on major. Right, it works on dominant. One arpeggio he plays frequently is 3, that's the pickup, to 1, to 6, to 5, and then he'll jump up. And this one you can jump up to any chord tone, and it works great. That's the root. The 9th. Jumping up to the 5th. That's to the flat 7 if it were dominant. It's a great pattern. The contour, first note chord tone on the 3rd, and the chord tone that follows will determine the contour. I could land on the same note, and that's a horizontal contour. The first and last notes are the same. Or it could be a descending contour. Right. Horizontal triplets usually move from a non-chord tone to a chord tone. In fact, the most common is moving from the 4th to the 3rd, and often in the key of D. We can practice any of these resolutions In the key of B flat, if I want to resolve to the 7th, it's a 7th, right? If I want to resolve to the 5th, right, I go from the 6th, and then we're down to the 4th, going to the 3rd. We can practice these isolated, or if you want to emphasize the root, then start on the 9th. And there I put in the bebop scale, a major bebop, because I was playing a B flat major scale. And that's the half step between the 6th and the 5th. Horizontal triplets that resolve by skip often move from chord tone to chord tone. So in the key of D, if I start on the 5th and go to the 3rd, or in the key of C, if I start on the 5th, go to the 3rd, one of the best ways to learn any particular pattern is to derive it directly from Parker's playing. This pattern moves from the 4th to the 3rd. We're in the key of D. Right? To the 3rd, and then it plays the 9th, the 5th, and the 9th again. Or we can enclose the horizontal triplet. Right? Right? All right, 12 keys. It's possible to take a Parker pattern and adjust it to play different chord qualities, like this one. So that's major, starts on the 5th. That's the 3rd. Back to the 5th. That's the major 7th to the 6th. So if I play that on a dominant chord, I take the major 7th and make it minor. If I want to play this on a minor chord, I would take the 3rd down a half step. Leave the 7th down. So all three. Okay. Parker plays many types of triplet pairs. Could be an ascending triplet arpeggio and a horizontal triplet at the top. But one of the types that is used in bebop playing fairly often is a chromatic line from the 3rd to the 5th. There is a circular scale pattern that helps to practice this. It works well with a major bebop scale, half step between the 6th and the 5th, or a dominant bebop scale, half step between the root and the flat 7. Etc. around and around. That was the major bebop scale applied to our chromatic triplets up and down from the 3rd to the 5th. Here is the dominant. Etc.